welcome back to the show. Now, Chinese New Year is just around the corner, and of course, with that comes the preparation. You've got decorating your home, stocking up on food, shopping for clothes. I tell you, the list is never ending.
Yep, but while it's important to enjoy ourselves during any festive season, it is equally as important to be aware of our spending. Because yes, debt can put a damper on your festive cheer.
So today our resident financial guru is back to share with us some ideas on how to spend wisely ahead of the year of the rabbit. So please welcome back Mr. Yap Ming Hui. Over to you.
Happy New Year, Mr. Yap, and thank you for coming back
Happy New
in
Year.
2011.
Yes, thank you for the introduction.
Okay. Now, you are about to celebrate Chinese New Year.
Yes.
What are some of the steps you personally are taking to curb your spending ahead of this huge festive season?
Okay, basically I have three ideas that I want to share today to talk about how we can actually enjoy our celebration of Chinese New Year plus also other festive season without actually costing a major boom to our financial position. So basically, I got actually three financial tips to share with you today. Which number one, talk about it's very important for us to budget for your spending. Okay, when we do spending, it's important for us to find out how much you have available for spending. Say for example, if you have 10,000 for your bonus, which is good, then you may want to allocate 5,000 for your investment for your financial freedom, then another 5,000 for your spending for this festival season. So then you have 5,000 available. Next, what you want to do is to list down the item that you want to spend. So whether it's buying clothing, giving to your elders, parents, and also buying some gift, actually then planning for your traveling and all these items. But don't stop there, because it's very important for you to actually prioritize what you actually need to spend, because you will find that when you start listing down all your wants, all your must-have, and you'll find that it's more than what your 5,000 can cope. So that's why you need to prioritize what you have. What was really must-have, then only you fit into your 5,000 budget. And third step is to buy only what you plan for when you start spending. Because it's very tempting to go to shopping center, whereby you end up buying some item that is not in your plan. Okay, so this is what I mean by devise a budget shopping plan. Point number two that I want to share today is talk about spend wisely. So when you start spending, it's very important for you to actually buy early. Okay, of course, when you buy early, you can expect to have actually some sales, some factory sales, whereby you can buy the item that you want at the price that you want, at the color that you want, at the size that you want, and all most important now at the cheaper price. Okay. The next thing we don't talk about here is that when we spend wisely, we want to buy some item to be given as a gift. I think it's very important for us to focus on practical gift, which means it's something that you buy that is going to be very useful and meaningful to the person that you're supposed to give to. For example, maybe it's something practical, like actually food, something like actually some item that can use it in their daily life, rather than something that you think is good but actually may not be useful to them. And the third sub-points I want to talk about here under spend wisely is to focus on relationship building when you actually go for meals, spending, eating together, because when it comes to actually Chinese New Year or any festive season, the restaurant, the cafe will charge us actually easily double or even triples sometimes when we're actually eating out. So if you're talking about building the relationship among our friends, relatives, I think it's very important for us to maybe consider eating at home, rather than eating out, which costs us a lot of money. The third tips I want to share today here is to talk about to use cash rather than credit card. Because when we actually use credit card to spend for our festive season, it's very easy for us to overspend, and we can't track how much we will have spent. So one idea for us to think about is to actually provide sufficient cash for what you intend to spend, and you know how far you have spent so far. If you really have problem in actually disciplining yourself of not to using credit card, I would suggest to leave your credit card at home, okay, or keep it somewhere that you cannot see, and only spend only the cash you have. So this is what I have to share today, talking about a smart spending for your festival season. And always remember, smarter you, smarter money management. So back to you, Joanne and Aisha.
Thank you very much.
I hope
Just
it's
made me
useful.
feel really guilty.
I know that last point really hit home, didn't it, Joe?
I'm going to go freeze my credit cards now.
Yes. Do it and put it in the freezer.
It's only for the festive season, whereby the temptation to spend is the highest at the point of time.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned just in your first point that you should budget when it comes to your shopping. Make sure you have a really good list.
Yeah.
But how would you know, how can you decide on the budget, the percentage? What is the safe rule to go by when deciding how much to spend for your festive season?
I guess it also depends on the family situations, depend on your spending pattern actually for the past few years. But the idea is what I mentioned just now. If you actually bonus, okay, the idea is don't spend all the bonus for the festive season. What actually some people tend to do that. The idea is to actually provide some, maybe half of it, or maybe at least actually 30% of it for future investment and saving. Then you spend the rest of it, and then from there you start doing a budgeting. Then you can keep yourself of not actually overspending.
Now, talking a bit about budget, just to recap what you talked about last week.
Yes.
You spoke about how to spend your budget. What you do is first you need to pay off your credit card bills, make sure you have extra cash, and then invest. So in this case, if you want to spend for holiday or festive season, make sure once you've completed all that, then only you have a little bit extra.
Yes.
Or budget for it, of course.
Yes, of course, because we cannot be just save the money, invest the money, pay the credit card without going to celebrate Chinese New Year.
Of course.
I wouldn't want any viewer of NTV7 to say that, no, this year I'm not going to celebrate Chinese New Year.
Why?
Because Mr. Yap says so. It's going to be very disastrous to the Malaysian economy, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, Mr. Yap, you talked about, getting good bargains if you start shopping early.
Yes.
Of course, we can do that with clothes and stuff like that, not so much with food things.
Yes.
But what about sometimes, as we get closer to Chinese New Year, people start to slash prices as well.
Yes.
What do you think of those discounts? Are they actually valid? Are they real? Or are people just trying to get rid of old stock?
I guess I think one of the common example is actually those oranges, Chinese oranges. People will just start searching the price when it's the beginning of Chinese New Year, second day or third day, like that. But the question is that for those Chinese people who celebrate Chinese New Year, they will need those oranges to be given as a gift for the prayer and whatever things like that. So even though it's actually a discounted price, after the first or second day of Chinese New Year, you wouldn't want to buy those oranges. Because then you still want to actually buy beforehand. So there's certain items that you must buy before Chinese New Year.
Right.
And of course, they're saying that those items actually after the discount, when it comes closer, I think like that, I do not see much of the example of that.
I see. So
what I can see is that if you actually go for last minute shopping, then those sales which is available maybe 1 week or 2 weeks before will actually be no more sales already. Then whatever you're going to buy at the normal price. That is going to be very expensive.
Not only that, because you're so much closer to Chinese New Year, to actual day, then the whole urgency and desperation sets in.
You're going to spend more money in the traffic and on parking.
Yeah, that's another point.
Yeah. So, okay, now, between cash and credit card, now, of course, a lot of people say, there's a lot of things to buy. The danger with cash is, carrying around too much cash, of course. So, credit cards are complete out, or unless you know how to control yourself.
I think what I want to say just now is that when I asked the viewer to actually put the credit card actually at home, what I actually meant is that for someone who really cannot control themselves. And then you can actually exercise some form of discipline.
Okay.
To say, okay, I remember what Mr. Yap said.
So that's a good thing to remember.
Then you can bring the credit card along.
Mr. Yap, we talk about credit cards and then versus your actual income per month.
Yes.
The balance on your credit card, right? What percentage should that be of your, say, monthly income? Say, for example, your monthly income is 6,000 ringgit.
Okay.
And the, comfortable balance on your credit card should be?
I would guess actually when people actually use a credit cards, I think ideally we should be using credit card, the way you say, because we do not want to carry too much cash.
Right.
So for example, we intend to spend only 5,000. Whatever money that we spend, if you're saying that you're actually using the credit card for the convenience or the security reason, that, assuming you spend all 5,000 using your credit card. So ideally, by the end of the month, when you receive the statement back, you should be clearing all that using whatever money in your bank. Then you only practice what you claim you're supposed to be doing, and not to quietly ignoring the item and just move on your normal life. Then your 5,000 debt will continue to be there, compounding at 18% interest rate.
So the secret with credit cards is actually to deal with it like it was cash, in the sense that you know, use it in replacement of cash, not paying for something where you don't have the cash. That means
and you cannot afford
exactly. So if you have 600 in the bank, like a debit card in that sense, you know, you only spend what you have. You swipe 600 and then you know you have that 600 to immediately pay it off.
Yes.
Right.
But in that case, then you will not be a very welcome priority customer to the bank.
True that.
Never mind, you know, you will always be
at least you'll have money in your bank.
Exactly, exactly. All right, so what are your plans for Chinese New Year this year?
Okay, actually what I actually intend to do is to actually spend a few more days actually with the families. Okay, in fact, I plan to actually go to do some trekking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during Chinese New Year.
That's very nice. And of course, cost-effective way of spending some time. Focus on building relationships rather than
without spending too much money.
Hey, very
so no Yisang for you this year?
Of course, I think those normal traditional kind of actually celebration will be there. Like a lot of eating, you know, a lot of actually celebrations. I think it's good to this year to try something new, to do some mountain trekking. Okay? And then you can actually balance the exercise, so that at the end of the Chinese New Year celebration, you won't find yourself like putting on a few kilos.
Okay, now 2011, a lot of people are actually beginning to start, you know, their budgets and stuff like that, budgeting the year. Do you have any workshops coming up that people can look out for this year?
So far, we have not really actually any plan for the seminar yet. But as what you actually suggested the other day, maybe next week, I actually intend to actually come out spending a budget, budgeting kind of template.
Yeah.
Maybe I can show you exactly like when I mean the budgeting, what I mean by what are the spending that's supposed to be accounting for, what are the item, how do you actually categorize that? Because some people even have problem categorizing what item follow in which category, and the income that you have got, then how do you actually derive whether you have positive cash flow or negative cash flow.
Oh, that would be exciting.
I think it's always a battle of what I really need versus what I need.
I know, but with us ladies, it's always like, oh, I really need that. It's an emergency. I need those shoes.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Yap.
Thank you.
And of course, as always, if you'd like more information, you can log on to Mr. Yap's website. That's www.yapminghui.com.
And if you have any questions for Mr. Yap, you can always send him an email. That's enquiries with an E. There you go, enquiries@yapminghui.com. Or you can drop Mr. Yap an SMS. The number is 012-3900-048. There you go, it's on the screens right now, 012-3900-048.